Most people admire the easygoing ones, the ones who don't get stressed over small things, the ones who smile through tension, stay calm during chaos, and take life as it comes. But behind that calm exterior, there is a complex psychology, one that's often misunderstood, sometimes underestimated, and occasionally taken for granted. Easygoing people seem simple, but their psychology is rarely simple. They're not careless, they're not clueless, and they're not naive. In fact, the easygoing personality emerges from a specific combination of emotional intelligence, worldview, and coping mechanisms, some healthy, some not so obvious. To understand them, we need to explore what truly lies at the root of being easygoing. Their core trait? Low reactivity. At the center of an easygoing personality is low emotional reactivity. Where others feel overwhelmed or offended, easygoing people feel almost nothing, or at least nothing urgent. They feel emotions, of course. They just don't react to them. This kind of emotional temperance usually comes from two places: early training, growing up in an environment where staying calm was necessary to keep peace. Self-control, consciously choosing not to let external situations disturb their mental world. Either way, they develop an internal belief. Not everything needs a reaction. This belief becomes their emotional filter. Life throws chaos, they shrug, people overthink, they breathe, the world speeds up, they slow down. And to others, this looks like effortless peace. The silent superpower? Emotional buffering. Easygoing people create a buffer between external events and their inner state. It's like a psychological cushion. Someone insults them, they take a moment, they process, then they respond or don't respond at all. Someone panics. Their instinct is to stabilize, not mirror the panic. They naturally absorb tension and release it slowly without letting it spill into their personality. This is why they make great mediators, friends, partners, and leaders. People feel safer around someone who doesn't spark at every friction. But beneath the calm is a fear of conflict. Here's the part most people don't see. Some easygoing individuals learned long ago that expressing needs causes conflict, so they simply stopped expressing. They say, "It's fine," even when it isn't. They let things go, not because they're weak, but because confrontation feels unnecessary or exhausting. Their calmness becomes a shield, a way to maintain harmony, a way to avoid emotional battles that feel pointless. So while easygoing behavior looks peaceful on the surface, it may come from a deep desire to keep the world around them stable. Because when the world is stable, they feel stable. Adaptability is their quiet strength. Easygoing people adjust easily. They rarely cling to rigid expectations. This adaptability gives them a resilience that others envy. Plans change, no problem. Someone arrives late, they move on. Life takes a strange turn. They accept it faster than most. This flexibility doesn't mean they don't care. It means they don't catastrophize. Their mind doesn't jump to worst-case scenarios. They're willing to flow because resisting reality feels unnecessary. And ironically, this mindset often places them in positions where people depend on them, not because they're passive, but because they're steady. Low ego, high awareness. Another distinctive trait of the easygoing personality is a quiet ego. They don't need to be right. They don't need to control outcomes. They don't need to win every debate. Their mind naturally takes the long view. Does this really matter? Will this affect my life a week from now? If not, why stress? It's not detachment, it's perspective. Easygoing people are not fighting for dominance in every interaction. They're content being themselves without proving anything. This emotional humility makes them approachable and sometimes, ironically, overlooked. The hidden struggle of being taken for granted. Because they're flexible, understanding, and patient, others may assume they're always okay. They don't have boundaries. They don't mind adjusting endlessly. But even the most easygoing person has limits. They get tired, they get hurt, they get overwhelmed. They just express it differently. Sometimes not at all. Their silence leads people to believe nothing is wrong. And nothing is easier to take advantage of than someone who rarely says no. Many easygoing people experience a quiet frustration. People only notice me when I finally break. Their calm is not laziness. There's a stereotype that easygoing people lack drive, but in reality, many of them are deeply ambitious. They just don't wear stress on their face. Their process is calmer. Their urgency is internal. Their goals unfold quietly. They don't rush. They move with intention. And because they don't waste energy on unnecessary emotional spikes, they often make more rational long-term decisions. What looks like looseness is actually balance. The psychology of why people love them. Easygoing personalities make people feel relaxed, accepted, unjudged, and emotionally safe. Their presence lowers social tension. They rarely escalate conflict. Their steady reactions give others room to breathe. In friendships, they are grounding. In relationships, they are stabilizing. At work, they are reliable and steady. People trust those who stay calm even when the environment isn't. But the easygoing need something too. They need space to be upset without feeling guilty. They need people who check in even when they seem fine. They need relationships where their calmness isn't exploited as infinite patience. They need moments where someone else takes the lead. Their relaxed demeanor doesn't mean their needs are smaller. It just means they've learned not to ask loudly. A final thought. The easygoing personality is a careful blend of self-control, perspective, emotional buffering, and silent resilience. They move through life with softness, but it's the softness of someone who's learned how to stand firm without becoming hard. They're not defined by the absence of emotion, but by the way they manage it. And their calm is not weakness, it's a skill, a philosophy, sometimes even a form of wisdom. The world moves fast, people react loudly, everything feels urgent. But the easygoing remind us of something else. Not everything needs to disturb your peace. Not every battle needs to be fought. Not every moment needs intensity. Sometimes, the quietest people understand life the most.